Like, I'm sorry, I have alien elbows. Hello everyone, we are back with part 2 of me answering your
body fitness questions.
Yes, I am in the same outfit because I literally turned the camera off and turned it right back on to finish these questions. Okay, well, if you're just tuning in, I did a part 1 where I answered fitness questions that I asked you guys for on Instagram, so I will link part 1 below, so check that out too. My name's Alexis, I'm a personal trainer, fitness coach, been coaching for 3 years. That's it. Okay, let's go. How much cardio should you do in a week? I know this is kind of my answer to most things, but it depends. Depends on what your goal is. If you're trying to lose fat, use cardio as a tool. So start to lower your calories. If you watched part 1, I already talked about like how to only lower your calories when you feel like you've stalled. Cardio can kind of be the same thing. Slowly increase it as you go through your cut. If you're only doing 2 sessions now, let's say 20-minute sessions now, as you start cutting, do 2 20-minute sessions and a 15-minute session. Then do 3 20-minute sessions. Then do 1 30-minute session, 2 20-minute sessions. Just slowly increase as you go through your cut, because if you just immediately start with 5 days a week, 30 minutes, you have nowhere to go from there that isn't to a miserable place. If you start 5 days a week, 30 minutes, then in a couple weeks when your body's no longer responding, what are you gonna do? Are you gonna do 3 days a week, 30 minutes, 2 days a week, 45 minutes? I, for one, do not wanna be on a Stairmaster for 45 minutes. Do not. Like, you don't wanna back yourself into a corner. Same thing with calories, right? If you start cutting and you just cut down to 1,500 calories, what are you gonna do in a month when you're not seeing progress anymore? Are you gonna go down to 1,300 calories? I, for one, don't wanna be eating 1,300 calories. So you just wanna add it as you need to, just like you lower calories as you need to. So I hope that helps. The other part of this question was how important are steps? Steps are very important for several reasons. Number 1, the obvious reason, you just being more active during the day does burn more calories. If you have a day where you go and work out, if you're just stagnant on the couch the rest of the day and only get like 2,000 steps that day, you most likely won't burn as much calories as you would on a day where you don't work out, but you're going shopping, you go on a long walk, you do this and you get 10 or 11,000 steps. You'll probably burn more calories on this day even though you worked out on this day. It's very important to be active throughout the day for that reason alone. But aside from calories burned and stuff, it's just good for you. We talked about this in part 1. It's very good for your muscle recovery to get blood flow to your muscles. And if you're lying like this all day watching Ozark, I'm watching Ozark now, by the way. I finished Dexter. I'm really mad at the ending. I can't get into it right now or I'll just rant. But if you're just lying like this for 7 hours, your blood flow is not as good as it would be if you were like walking for 10 to 15 minutes once an hour during those 7 hours. A muscle needs the blood flow to recover and grow. It will recover and grow even if you aren't getting a lot of steps every day, but it'll be slower and you'll be sore longer. So it's really good for that, and it's also really good for digestion. After you eat a big meal, one of the best things you can do is go for just a little like 15-minute walk. Aaron and I, my boyfriend, have been doing that lately. Like, we just go for a walk in the evening after eating, and it feels great. And I don't get as bloated after eating, and it's just good for digestion to like walk after eating. So those 3 reasons are alone why it's good for you. Getting enough steps is good for you. It's also good for your mental health. I love going on walks. It really clears my head. I'm not like looking down at my screen or at a screen up there. It feels good. And Maya likes walks too. Maya, you like walks too, honey, huh? Maya co-signs this walk. Maya co-signs this walking advice. Is pre-workout bad for you? There's no straight answer to this question. I wouldn't say it's bad for you. I think you can overdo it. Your body, I mean, just with caffeine, you can overdo it. I would recommend utilizing pre-workout when you need it. So instead of taking it every single day, try taking it just on days when you're feeling more lethargic, or on a day when you like want to go for a new personal best on a lift or something. Like on a day when you know you want to put forth maximum effort. Like you should always put forth as much effort as you can in your workouts, unless it's a deload week. Taking pre-workout every day will diminish its effectiveness, so then you'll take more and then you're just pounding pre-workout, and that's not good for your heart, and it's just not good for you. It's more of like a caffeine issue. Also, some pre-workouts have some questionable ingredients. Some pre-workouts have a little bit better ingredients, so just check out like nutrition labels and stuff before choosing a pre-workout. Lately, I've been using coffee as my pre-workout because I just love it so much. So you can also do that if you like coffee more than pre-workout. Coffee also will do the trick because it has caffeine in it. I hope that answers your question. I feel like that was a little convoluted. I wasn't exactly sure how to answer it. It's more of a abusing caffeine issue, I think. So yeah, okay. Moving on. Last question. How do you do an ab workout without your stomach pushing out or straining back, even when you're putting all focus on using abs? Hold up. I'm about to do a demonstration. I have cat hair on these pants, so I'm gonna need you to not judge me. I need you to make a promise that you're not gonna judge me before I show you this.
My name is Jeff.
Okay, thank you. When you're doing an ab movement, if you are feeling it in your legs more than you're feeling it in your abs, then you're using your hip flexors more than your abs, which is an extremely common thing. Like, I felt that for years before I figured out how to properly brace my core. So this is what I want you to do. This is kind of a cramped space. Usually my legs would be out. I can't do that right now. I'll just put my head under the bed a little bit. What I want you to do before starting any ab movement, if you're doing like an ab movement laying down, make sure you press your lower back into the floor. Okay, if your lower back is not in touch with the floor, start over your ab movements. Like if you're doing leg lifts, which I can't do right now, if you're doing leg lifts and your back starts to do this, it's totally okay. Stop. Re-push your lower back into the ground. Like if you notice, if you do it with me right now, you'll notice that you can't push your lower back into the ground without tightening up your abs. So that's why it's such a good cue to use. That's why it's such a good cue to use is push your lower back into the ground, okay? If you're doing something that's not laying down, that's more like up here, like let's say you're doing a plank or mountain climbers or whatever, think about being a dog. Maya?
I know what you're doing over there, but I don't want any part of it.
She's avoiding eye contact with me. She's like, I don't know what you're doing over there, but I don't want any part of it. On rewatching, it is abundantly clear to me how double jointed my fucking elbow is. So if you're seeing that, like, I'm sorry, I have alien elbows. Carry on. So let's pretend you're a dog and you're scared and you're tucking your tail between your legs. That's how you make sure that your abs are being engaged, that you're engaging your core. So like if you're doing an ab movement in like a plank position, or let's say you're standing up and doing an ab movement, just think about tucking your tail between your legs. Like your core will automatically, like you can tuck and not brace your core, but it really is like a really good mental cue to help you figure out how to make sure it's braced. So if you start doing your stuff and you feel your back start to arch, just stop, reset, tuck tail between legs, and there it is. I hope that was helpful. Wish I had shoes on, but whatever. Hope that was helpful. Again, ask any questions below that you felt were unclear. And that's it. Okay, all right. Thanks for watching. If you have more fitness questions, I can always do a part 3, so comment below, message me on Instagram, whatever you want to do. Maya says bye. And that she loves you. I hope you have a good day. I hope you're staying safe. That's it. Okay, love you. Bye.